Come on out here. Come show everybody. My lovely wife has a beautiful hairdo that I want her to show everybody. But let's see. I got it. I wanted her to show you guys, but she's not coming out here. Keegan, her beautiful hairdo. How y'all doing? How's Facebook Live today? How is everyone? I hope you're all doing well. I got some good stuff I want to share with you today. Some updates, some events, some new things coming up. I'm going to demonstrate an exercise here in a minute. And I have the world's ashiest knees. So I want to loosen my knees up before I do my get-ups so you guys aren't just mesmerized by, look at his knees, look how terrible they are. When you have a bad back, you don't bend over to get stuff. You don't hinge much. You go to a knee. And you go to a knee. Anytime I got to get something off the ground, I go to a knee. And when you do that enough times, you build up a little callus on there. And it's super sexy to have that on there. So, all right, 2021, here we go. We're ready for this year. It's going to be a good year for us, I think. I think for everybody, it's going to be a good year. A couple of things that we have been thinking about, Keegs and I. We were doing a workout this morning. You guys saw our video of our fast, what do they call it, time lapse. We were doing a workout, awesome interval workout. And Keegan said, I want to do like a fitness challenge, just us. I want to try to get 300 workouts in the year. And we're like, okay, that's like basically 6 workouts a week. That's a lot. And she goes, oh, no, it doesn't have to be all weights. Like we could have a day where we just do our walk and our outside play, that kind of stuff. And so I thought that was pretty cool. So she's putting together a little 300 with like, you know, the gladiators and the fighters and all that kind of stuff in the movie. She's putting together like a little 300 chart, just kind of a fun chart. Anybody's interested in doing this with us, just shoot us a message down below or send me your email and we'll send you one and you can just check off your workout every day and just be a good little reminder for us. When you have that number up there, one really cool thing that I learned from the Cosgroves, they talked about like business tracking and having your goals of what, you know, how many sessions you want to have and, you know, what total incomes, what's your gross, what's your net, all this was to write it up exactly what you wanted. And then at the end of each day, you know, check in how many you did and how many sessions. And when you make it a written goal that's on the wall, everybody can see it. And then you have to tally and track it, that it makes it a little bit more real and a little bit more, there's more energy put into knowing that. So I love the idea of having a little chart up with each of our names, and we're going to check off how many workouts we've had. And so far, I'm 3, let's see, say the second. So I'm 2 for 2 so far, and just get our workouts as we go through the year. So if you're interested in that, shoot your email down below, and we will send you one. Goals. So here are some goal sheets. These are my goal sheets that I've been doing for the last 3 years. 2019. We had a couple of different goals I had on here. I broke it up into personal goals and professional goals. You guys can see all that on there. And ones that we were successful with and ones that I was not successful with. So the beginning of every year, I sit down and I make up one of these. And this year, I kind of broke it up a little bit different. I went with professional goals, personal goals, and then I got my family goals down here. And so I wanted to have one extra area of emphasis where by separating it out from personal, it's giving it that much more attention. So under professional, I have a goal for how many individuals I would really like to have in our bunker training program, success of their goals that we're going to accomplish. I want to have over like 60%. And then our TOA, how many TOA members we have attend all year long, how many webinars we offer, how many select members we have. We kind of chart all that out of how many we had last year and what I want to bump up to. And then speaking engagements. I'm really hoping this year we're able to get back to doing live in-person events. I'm guessing it's going to be towards the later, probably the second half or maybe the last quarter of 2021. But I would love to be able to get in front of people again. I miss it so much. I miss all of you guys, especially our fitness family out there. I miss getting to see you at conferences and shooting the breeze and talking shop and learning. I have read every book that I have twice. That's a lie. I actually have quite a few I haven't read. But the ones that I'm really, into and things that I want to learn, I want to go see those people and learn from them You can get so much out of our online training, but I miss that piece of us being in front of each other and doing our thing. So I'm looking forward to that. Total speaking events, online or in person. I have a goal for how many I want to do there. All right, my personal. 6 workouts a week, 4 that are strength and conditioning, 2 that I just kind of put as other. So like our cardio one today would be kind of an other. It didn't do a lot of damage to my body. I got a great gas, totally burned. Very good sweat. We went for 25 minutes, worked a bunch of different movement planes, different actions. I really enjoyed it, but it didn't tear me up, and I'm not going to be super sore from it. The workout we did yesterday, our high intensity workout, trashed my legs. So today was like the perfect kind of workout to follow that one, right? So I want to have 4 really solid, good workouts a week, and then 2 kind of non-traditionals or, hikes or anything like that. Anything that's going to be kind of outside the norm, we're going to do that. I have a body weight goal. You guys can see in my first 2 years of charting, you can see at the top there, I charted my current body weight and what I went down to and what my goals were, and I haven't achieved either one. I have a much better mindset this year and a jump start, really. I was 268 in March, and I'm currently 244. So I've lost, 24 pounds, and I'm down there. So I'm pretty happy about that. I got like another 20 I want to go, and I'd be stoked to be right around in that area. So there's my goal. I have a belt squat goal now that I found a way to push my lower body, and then I have my pivot point chest press, my upper body goal. And then we move into family. So family, always placed a big emphasis on this. And the reason I'm sharing all these with you guys is because I want you to do it. I think it's really valuable to sit and write down your goals and go through this. And we always kind of have a mindset of I want to do this year, but until you write it down, okay, like we talked about. So here are my family ones. Keegan and I probably have 1 day out of the month that we go and do something on our own, a lot of times it's like the girls are going to go hang with grandma and pops while we go to Home Depot to get wood for a project, and we end up getting 4 hours together, and that's kind of our fun, our date together, but it just kind of happens. I want 1 day a month where it's scheduled on the books. Keegan and I are going to do whatever in the current world. Maybe the girls go for a sleepover, and we get the night to ourselves, that kind of thing. I want to really have a big emphasis on that. Outside play. We've had great opportunities now currently, slack lines and the swings and all this stuff. I'm having so much fun doing that. I just don't do enough of it. So I really want to encourage more outside play with my girls. This one's been on my chart every year, for all 3 years, and I think we do a pretty good job of it. It's reading every night. And I love to read with the girls every night. Some nights, every once in a while, I get to do both. I get to read to Bristol, she falls asleep, and then I get to go read to Peyton. But typically, Bristol's completely obsessed with Keegan. And Daddy's a very close, a very distant number 2. It's I'm on the list, but if Mom's not around, I'm okay. But she really wants Mom to read to her every night. So I get to maybe once or twice a week sneak in there to read to her, but Peyton and I read together. And I bought her all these great books about who was Abraham Lincoln and who was George Washington and what was the Great Depression and all these great things I'm sure she loves to learn about. But we also have the Berenstain Bears and everything else too. So I kind of mix those in. I love doing that reading together at night, and maybe 4 out of 5 nights I don't fall asleep before her. Every once in a while I end up snoozing in there for a few minutes too, but love doing the reading tonight. And then just do better dadding. I just want to be a little bit better dad. I feel like I'm pretty good at it. This is something that we can always be better at. You know what I mean? Is just be a little bit more patient, just give a little bit more learning opportunity. Patience is really my big one. I get very aggravated if stuff isn't done really quickly and on time, and I gotta understand, dude, you're 3. It's gonna take a little bit. Just back off a little bit. So yes, I see the Great Depression books. Yeah. Thanks. Rachel goes, yeah, I actually have one on one's like the Hindenburg and the Twin Towers, and I'm I don't know if I should be reading these to you at this age. They're kind of depressing ends and not great. So we'll save those for later. So those are the family ones. So those are our goal sheets. You can put these together however you want to. Areas of emphasis: personal, professional, business, family. I like breaking them up and kind of giving some different directions in there. So those are my goal sheets. I encourage you to do one if that's something that you feel so inclined to do. All right, other things coming up. What else do we have going on? Training the older adults, TOA Live, my buddy Dr. Evan Osar and I It's a week from yesterday, the 8th and 9th, we start TOA Live, which is an online live streaming education. So go to trainingtheolderadult.com if you want to learn more about that. So that's going to be a really cool event. I'm doing a free webinar for OTP on Target Publications. OTP, they're the ones that produce all of Dan John's books, and Dave Draper and Laurie and her whole group are totally awesome. So we're doing a webinar over there of the 5 like must-have strength components that you, or strength lifts that you do while you age. The ones that work the best and like give the best bang for buck, but you got to have these 5. So totally free. You can register on our website or on theirs. If you go to it's otpbooks.com, I believe is their website, and just put my name into the search. It's the first thing that pops up, or just message me and I'll send you the link. And then what else do we have going on? Oh, TOA Select this coming Wednesday. We're starting into the first official, December was a bonus, first official month of TOA Select. This Wednesday is our business talk for the month, and we'll be talking about referral generations versus lead generations, what the difference is, which ones might work better for different business models, different situations, and so on. So we'll be diving into that a little bit if you get the chance to join us there. All right, sleep. I want to talk about sleep. So I had this great chart on here that I forgot for a moment. I'm not going to be able to share my my screen with you guys, but our sleep patterns. This is something that I totally took for granted because I did not. I've kind of discovered now I haven't got enough sleep for like 10 years. and I kid you not, like for real. I go to bed at 7:30 to 8 o'clock every night. Basically, when I get done reading to the kids, we all brush our teeth, we go and read, they fall asleep. I would head to bed. Maybe 20, 25 minutes later, I'd be asleep. So let's say 8 o'clock at the latest. And I would wake up at 1:45 to go to work. And the reason for that was I had to get fed and prepped and drive all the way down the hill, get into Sacramento, set up the studio, write up all my whiteboards, prep all the workout, get all the, and this was for 30 or 40 people, set up all the equipment. With the whole COVID world where we were moving all the equipment outside and moving it back in every day, I got up even earlier. So we had so much to do because I had some clients. I had clients that started at 4 a.m. So we had a ton of stuff I had to prep. And this just became life for me. Like that was my schedule. I'm going to say since like 2012 or 11, like right around in there, like right when I became the fitness director at Arden Hills. So that was 2011. Yeah. So basically 9 years I've been doing that exact schedule, that super early morning. And then we get shut down in March and I don't have anywhere to go and I don't have classes until like 8 or 9 in the morning. And all of a sudden I get to sleep in a little bit. And all these weird things started happening. I was in a better mood and I was less irritable and my body didn't hurt as bad. And I felt refreshed and energetic and I didn't feel like my brain was clouded and fogged, and just a whole different world has kind of opened to me now. And the value of sleep, how important it is, and the little things like making sure that you're staying asleep. You're not having all these wake ups. And, we'd have nights, especially with like, 9-month or younger babies that are waking up every 2 or 3 hours and all this. And we could get that broken sleep. You never, even though you could look back and be like, well, we got 8 hours all together, but you never got to a deeper level of sleep. So it shows in this chart. I wish I could share it with you, but it's on sleeplabs.com, sleep lab with an S, sleeplabs.com. And if you want to check it out, it just shows a real simple breakdown of the age groups and how much sleep you should be getting. And basically for anybody, I think it was 21 to 65, it was between 8 to 10 hours of sleep a night. It's kind of ideal in finding your groove. And I'd been getting like 4.5 to maybe 5.5, somewhere in there. And that was on like a good night, and very broken sleep because I just wasn't really getting to that depth. And I was always worried about what I had to do. And was I going to have enough time, and just, a frantic mindset. So a blessing in disguise has been this dramatic change and shift in our business model. And the way that we're training now, I don't have clients until 6 a.m. Where I get to log on with them and start training them in the morning. Something I've always wanted to do was work out before I started my workday, but I would have to get up at midnight, right, to do that. and I wanted to have somebody to work out with. And Keegan's always sleeping in the middle of the night like she should. And I'm sitting over here trying to do workouts at noon after my 4 a.m. till noon workday was over, and just finding I'm exhausted and I'm missing my family and I want to go home, and not, just skipping on my workouts left and right. So now, very nice, home environment that I'm comfortable in, that I love. A schedule where I can get up at 4:45, get my food, get a great workout in, and then be ready to go at 6. And I'm training and enjoying my schedule, and I'm getting enough sleep. And this was big. This has been so big for me, is I'm getting like 6.5 to 8 hours, 6.5 on 2 days a week. The others I'm getting 8. I have 2 earlier mornings where I have earlier groups, but I still want to get my workout in ahead, so I wake up a little bit earlier. But outside of that, yeah, I'm getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night, and it's a whole new world. I got to tell you, if you're not getting enough sleep, I always kind of poo-pooed this and just thought, I've been doing this so long, my body's used to it, and now that I'm getting more sleep, I'm really seeing the benefits of that on the other side. And having recovery days, when I really get obsessive and get my mindset into things, especially training-wise, not taking enough advantage of having some days to recover. And that doesn't mean not doing anything. It just means not stressing your body to that point, right? So like today's little interval workout we did was perfect. My body feels great, did no damage though, right? Just gave me that really good endorphin rush and that feel that I wanted, and I loved every second of it. So look at your sleep patterns. These little, this is just one of the basic Fossil fitness watches, and I have a little app that adds on there. There's so many good ones out there. There's so many different things you can do that track your sleep and show your good patterns here. Let's see, Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker is a great book. Mark Nutting. Hey, Mark, how you doing, buddy? That Mark just recommended on there. Mark's always got you always have a good book for anything that we kind of bring up. He's the most well-read individual that I know. He reads constantly. Envious. I wish I could read more. I used to have an hour commute, 35 minutes down and back, where I would do my book on tape or book on audio. You know how old somebody is when they say book on tape, right? Because these whippersnappers nowadays don't even know what tape means. They're like, you mean our video library? Yes, that's what I mean. Listening to the books there, I'd get some time, but I definitely need to make some more time to read some stuff. But yeah, that sounds great, especially if you're recommending it. I know it's a good read. Super important. I can't stress it enough. All right, did I cover all my notes? I think I did. All right, last little bit, and I'm going to move you guys. You're going to come over here with me. Something that that I put up just a few days ago was a technique. Oops, there we go. Was a technique on get-ups, on proper get-ups. And I'm going to give you a quick little run around here in the studio. The assist, or one of the assisting techniques that we use to help us with our get-ups, is suspension of a band from overhead. And I know not everybody has like a J-hook out in the middle of nowhere of their flooring in their gym. You can do this with just a regular pull-up bar and just throwing a band over the top, okay? So something that we suggested, that I was kind of going through, was showcasing how you could kind of simulate holding a weight overhead by holding onto the band, but also the band gives you some good assistance. So we would pull down on the band, split our feet, come all the way down to the knee, hinge over, put your weight down to the floor, complete the get up all the way down, get back to here, and then as you come up, you had something to kind of hold on to and engage. And I got some great feedback, and people just wanted to learn more about how we kind of progress and work with our individuals getting up and down off the ground. So this is a drill that we do with our individuals that can't quite do a split squat yet. I will suspend them from the top, and look how many bands I have on there. There's a ton of these guys. I think I have 6 or 8. These are the Rogue Fitness, they're mini bands. So basically it's a super band, but it's not 39 or 41 inches, whichever one you can get. They're 12 inches. And this guy, the reason I have so many is it gives me multiple choices on selecting different tensions that I want to utilize with each individual, or with their current and with their current strength ability. So the drill is what I just demonstrated. You grab onto the band, and these are folks that they cannot do a split squat and get to the ground yet, right? So we are actually drilling this from the top down. So I'm going to engage here at the top, pull down with both hands. And there's enough tension on this where I'm almost floating. There's so much load on here, right? There's so much tension coming. So I'm going to pull down, really engage, come all the way to the floor. I'm going to take my knee and then let this guy out a little bit. I'll pivot my back foot, perform the windmill, place my hand to the ground. But again, I'm just barely putting weight here. I'm just practicing this position. Windmill back, pivot. And then when I'm ready to go here, I don't have the strength to get that bite or that initial engagement to come up. So again, I'm going to pull down on this guy, increasing my tension, and whoop, up I come. So now I can practice my engagement of training the split squat from dead starts, right? Where we lose all of our momentum. It's just a dead start. And if I can engage and pull down, I'm like, oh man, I can feel this now. Like, how do you ever master or even just perform something once if you can't actually do it, right? We can do so many high bridges to the floor, and I can do some split squats where I hang on to a post or a band, but until we actually perform the full range of motion that's required, I don't know if you're going to be able to build strength and perform that movement efficiently. So what I want to do is just deload people, make them as light as I can so they can practice that skill. And you can do a couple different drills from this. Like once you come to the knee, I can pivot, I can windmill, I can come back and windmill again, and I can practice this unlock of the hip. And then I can also simulate with my weight overhead, can I keep the weight here and start to engage and come up from that position? It's just using this as like a tweener exercise to help you learn how to descend, how to unload, and how to transition. And then I go, okay, I'm mastering this, I'm getting good at it. Well, let's take off a couple bands. I take off 2 or 3, and now my engagement here, I have hardly any bounce with 2 or 3. I've got a lot of room here where I can practice, and I'm gonna have to pull down hard to get some help. Like you can just find that happy medium where you're producing a very good challenge for them, but you're also allowing the movement to be practiced, to be mastered. And then once that is performed well, I would take that band all the way down to just 1 and have them get all the way to the ground, and then practice getting back to that up position. The dead start position at the bottom too can be very challenging. What I mean by dead start is that you don't get any eccentric, like rubber band slingshot momentum. So it's just completely dead weight, and then you have to initiate movement. So for a lot of folks, laying flat on their back and just starting to get up from the ground is very difficult. Even if you're teaching the roll to the shoulder, the prop with the elbow, all that, we might have a lack of neuromuscular ability, just not knowing the movement patterns and such, just being weak and undertrained, right? Or some kind of impingement or issues with the shoulders or the hands, arthritic issues in the wrists and the palms. So if I give them that band from above that's basically pulling them, right? I can practice those transitions and work through that bottom half technique, all while mastering the idea of keeping my arm over my head. Because as soon as we bring this down, we've kind of lost the whole get up, component. Ultimately, we want our client to be able to hold a weight, get down to the ground, and get back up, to be able to perform that lift. Really, I just want people to be able to get to the ground and get up with good technique and build the confidence, and they know if I do fall and I don't get hurt or too hurt, I can get up on my own. That's like the number one concern that I have from new clients coming in. Is like, I'm getting older, I'm noticed I'm getting a little clumsy, I've fallen a couple of times now, I'm really concerned I'm gonna fall and not be able to get up, or I'm gonna end up being reliant on someone else to help take care of me. So we're training for independence, we're training for a mindset of freedom, a mindset of knowing like I can continue to take care of myself. And if they do fall, hopefully we've done enough resistance training and made them dense enough where their bones don't break. That scary statistic, 70-year-old or higher that fall and break their hip or their knee or any kind of major break, 70% of those individuals die. Not in the moment from the break necessarily, but their quality of life withers, their desire to live, everything just goes downhill really, really quick. And you hear that and you're like, is that true? Is that really true? That is a proven statistic. Like you can find that on the CDC's website, is where I found it on there, or not the CDC, on, come on, what's the other one? It'll come to me in a minute. I'll post the link for you guys too. But that information, that research study is in, it's in got my book here real quick. This is like my little Bible, my fitness Bible for working with my older pops. It's in this guy too. Really good research in here that supports that and kind of talks about the big concerns and the fears of people falling down, the injuries that come, and the death rate that goes with it. It's a big deal. And I went through this not too long ago. I think you guys might remember, I think it was 2 years ago or maybe 3. My dad fell, broke his hip, injured his knee, ended up having to have a knee replacement. And that really got my mind, it totally threw me for a loop, number one, because he couldn't get back up. He could not do it. Obviously, he was injured, he had hurt himself. But even now, there are struggles for him to be able to get up and down off the ground. And that, to me, is something like, you got to be able to do this. If you guys are by yourselves and you end up on your ground, not everybody has Life Alert, right? Everybody has something that is going to help rescue them. So this is a pretty big deal for me, and it's something that we even drill into our workouts. Like we'll do interval workouts, 20 air squats, get down and get up, do 1. 20 inverted rows, get down and get up, do 1. And every time you get down and get up, you got to get up on the other side. So down to my left knee, to the floor, back up. Next set, down to my right knee, get back up. And we'll interval that as just a little active recovery, basically. But you have to get up and get down. We do that 20 times in a workout, plus them getting up and down from their mobilities and their warm up, and then getting up and getting down. For the cool down, we get 20, 25 up downs throughout the workout. And I'm having them leave going, I feel great. This is proven that they're going to be good. As a pending. I want people to be able to build that independence, because I've been there where I'm reliant on someone else. Luckily, I've got a great support system from bedridden on my own. It is very nerve-wracking and concerning, if you don't have those other individuals there. Can I do this on my own? So I want to help our clients get to that position where we're at. I have a client named Mary that I got to work with for a good period. Down to get to the gym, and then up to date, she couldn't get around the gym without it. So it's like those kinds of stories. Those are the things that we want to have that effect, that improvement of quality of life. That's like our motto, right? And one of our mottos, movement is life, improvement for quality of life, seeking muscular quality, like finding, you guys hear me say those things all the time, that I want our people to get strong and be able to live fear-free, that they're not going to get stuck there. All right, I've rambled long enough. I hope you try that drill. I hope you like it. Remember your goal sheets, 2021. This is a big year. We all just came out of, I shouldn't say came out of, we were all going through this very challenging time, but we just came out of like one of the worst years we've ever had on date, right? So nothing in our lives to this moment has actually changed from one day to the next. It's just a new calendar. But this is a great opportunity for us to flip that switch mentally and be like, we're on the up, right? We're still in it. We're still in this present situation. It's probably going to be here a while, but mentally, let's make that switch. And sometimes this is all it takes, is an event like this, a moment like this, for us to be like, yeah, this, the new beginning, a fresh start, like however you want to think of it, and flip that switch, and let's start moving in some positive directions. So those goal sheets, I think, could be very, very valuable. Take a couple minutes, could be on a Post-it note, sticky note, print it up, whatever you want to do. I think it's a good thing for us to go through. I know a lot of you do these already, but I always like to bring little lessons of the basics around, again, because sometimes we forget about those. All right, gang. Hope you enjoyed today. Appreciate it. Any comments or questions, anything like that, feel free to throw them up there. And if you want one of our 300 workout little charts that Key's making up, shoot me an email or just say, hey, I want one, and I'll message it over to you guys. All right, everybody. Happy New Year. Love you guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.